Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show helps raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Man, today we're going to be diving into how in motorsports, as in life, knowing when to step back is a skill and not a fucking weakness, right? Like taking a break doesn't mean that you're giving up. Taking a break means that you're coming back sharper. You're coming back more focused. You're coming back locked in, right? You see, like when you're building a project, especially like a car or maybe a motorcycle, or in this case, we're talking about a car, right? Building your project car, right? Fucking getting this shit on the road. It's supposed to be your passion, right? It's not supposed to be your breaking point. But so many times, like if you're pushing through the frustration of building this shit, like if you're building it yourself, like we're garage builders here. We fucking lean into our passions and we fucking build fucking some cool shit, right? If like most of the time, like it's gonna be frustrating, right? And if you're giving in and you're trying to push through that frustration, the chances are that you're gonna fucking break something, right? Or worse, you're gonna quit altogether. It's happened to me, right? I know it's happened to you too, right? And so, the story I want to tell you real quick is the one about my Camaro, right? I've shared with you. I'm building my Camaro. I'm bringing it back to life, right? A daily drivable, capable, daily driver capable race car, right? That's what I'm fucking building, and so it's been fucking stressful, right? And then so what we're gonna dive into, right? There's the example that I was gonna give you is that I was putting in the dash back into the Camaro, right? And so before I put the dash, I had actually painted the roll cage. I had prepped everything, all this stuff, and the roll cage came out sick. Like I color matched it to the same, color as the car, sunset orange metallic, and it came out sick. It came out badass. And so now it was time to put the dash back in, right? And so, but now it has a roll cage in the car, right? And so there's some things that needed to be customized. For one and foremost, I'm keeping AC, something that a lot of guys don't fucking keep. Actually, I would say probably 95% of the guys that are building a race car do not keep AC. But like I said, we're building a daily driver capable race car. I don't know, I had a little tongue twister there, but that's what I'm fucking building. So keeping AC, especially in South Florida, living in Miami, it's a fucking must. I want to be able to hop in that shit. If I want to drive it to work on a Friday, be dressed all nice, right? Like I want to hop in my race car with the AC on, sitting in fucking traffic, and drive it to work if I fucking feel like it, right? And so I had to customize the AC on the dash, right? And so it meant cutting the fucking vents because they were in the way of the roll cage, and then customizing some vents to be able to put the dash back in with the AC vents in place. I had to also notch the frame of the dash. I had to notch the dash. I had to notch the dash cover, right? And all this stuff to be able to pull in. And then not only that, but then once we got everything in and we're in and out, in and out, in and out, trying to, and I say we, like my brother and my good friend was helping me, it was so much in and out. At the time we were holding it to mark where we needed to cut, it would fall, this and that. Not only that, we needed to depin the harness, right, so they could go around the roll cage because it was already welded in, and where the wires needed to go in the fuse box and all that, in the factory location where it bolts up, like it wouldn't go, it wouldn't reach. It would actually, when you push it to the dash, it would hit the fucking roll bar, and so it had to go around the roll bar, and so that was a mission and a half, right? And I was getting so fucking frustrated because every time the dash slipped or every time we were in and out, it was just so much customizing, so much shit. The fucking cage kept getting scratched, and I was like, fuck, and I was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated because I had just painted it, came out sick, and it had no scratches, and I fucked up because I didn't fucking put protection tape all over it. That's a lesson learned. I walk away with that lesson, right? But it took me being able to walk away, and actually it took my brother to be like, yo, chill, go take a breather, bro, go take a breather. Because I was getting so frustrated because I wanted to do it and it was getting late and all this stuff, and I actually was getting hungry because we hadn't ate dinner, and so we ended up just taking a break, kind of got some dinner, and then fucking come back and with a refreshed mind to really finish the installation, and we did, right? But it took us taking the break. It took us walking away. You see, frustration can lead to failure if you don't recognize the breaking point, right? And so in that moment, like I was so frustrated because I wanted to get it done. And then the more scratches that came up, and then I was like, fuck, this is right where I'm gonna see it, all this shit. Kept getting more frustrated. And the more frustrated I got, the less it would go into place. And then the more fucking in and out we had to do it because I was letting myself get frustrated. It took me walking away to be able to have a refreshed mind. You see, the problem is that when you're stressed out, when you're forcing things, your decision making turns into fucking garbage, right? Like whether you're tightening a bolt, usually it fucking strips. Whether you're installing a dash, you're gonna fucking make mistakes, right? And all this stuff is gonna cost you time, is gonna cost you money, is gonna cost you frustration, right? And so, in the example of dash, it cost me time because now I gotta repaint it, right? And it cost me money because now I gotta buy some more color matched spray cans, which I had to order them custom, and they put them into these custom spray cans so that you can have the color. Right, and then I'm gonna have to tape up everything because the dash is now installed, and I'm gonna cover it to make sure I don't have no overspray. But whatever, I learned from it, right? And so whether you're wrenching on a car, whether you're struggling to get something to fit, whatever it is, it's like, and you feel yourself getting fucking frustrated, instead of pushing harder because you're gonna snap, fucking walk away, right? Because if you don't walk away, what's gonna happen? That now you're gonna have a broken part. You're gonna have a scratched part. You're gonna have a stripped bolt. You're gonna have something. You're gonna have a bigger problem than the problem that you're currently dealing with because you tried to push through the frustration. And so the mindset shift here is to understand that frustration isn't a badge of honor. It's a warning light, my brother, right? And then when your brain is cooked, your hands are gonna follow, right? If your brain is cooked and you're frustrated and you're not fucking things are not working, well, guess what? Things are gonna continue not working. So it's up to you to determine that breaking point and to walk away, right? This is when developing self-awareness comes into play, right? This is, and I actually have developed some good self-awareness, all this meditating that I've been doing, all this spiritual connection that I've been doing, all this working on myself. And still, I have these issues. I still have these problems. I'm fucking human. I'm not perfect. I still have a lifetime of growth, right? But when you develop self-awareness, right, you recognize when your frustration is peaking. And then what happens is that in that moment, you get to step away before you damage something, before you make it worse, right? Because then you're going to be more frustrated than you are in that moment because you tried to push through and you fucking made it worse. So be willing to reset and refocus, right? Accept and acknowledge and embrace the power of walking away, right? You see, walking away, like why stepping away works, right? Let's like the reason why it works is because your brain processes problems even when you're not actively thinking about them. Like distance creates clarity. And so like when you're stuck on a problem, right? Like, and I don't know, maybe this has happened to you. Maybe you've been stuck on a problem and you're stuck on something that you can't figure out, right? And you walk away and then like you're doing something else and you free your mind, right? And all of a sudden, bam, the answer hits you, right? Whether you're in a shower, whether you're driving, whether you're doing whatever other activity, it just comes to your mind all of a sudden. Like, yo, fuck, I got it. That's how I was going to do it, right? You see, the brain, it's working in the background, but you got to be willing to walk away. You got to be willing to decompress. You got to be willing to create that distance so that you can give yourself the clarity needed so that you can come up with the fucking answers, right? And so the key strategy is really to set a personal rule for yourself and understand that when you feel the frustration, when you fucking see it peaking, right? Like take a 15-minute break, right? Like go for a walk, take a breather, grab a coffee, step outside, grab a fucking some water, whatever you do, go just take a break, walk away from that moment right there before it gets worse. And then when you return, you'll often see that the solution could be right there in front of you, right? You're gonna have a better mindset. You're gonna have more focus. You're gonna have more clarity. You're gonna be like in a different mindset of like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking tackle this shit. You're gonna have more patience, right? Start seeing breaks as part of the building process, right? Not as a delay. Because many times, especially for me, I have a busy schedule. I have a lot of things mapped out. And I'm like, yo, I have this time to this time allowed to go work on my car. And then now since the car's not at my house, it's at my friend's house, I got to stay strict to that schedule because if I stay late, like I ended up doing that night, ended up leaving his house like 2:30 in the morning, like it fucked up my Sunday, right? And I didn't wake up as early as I needed to in order to have a productive Sunday. And so it lags on, right? But just accept that taking breaks is part of the process, not a delay, right? A 15-minute reset is better than hours of redoing the mistakes, right? I remembered it and I learned it that night, even though I know this, right? But because I was so fucking stressed, it took us like almost 8 hours, like 7 hours to do that dash because we would go in and out so many times, customizing each piece, making sure that it fit perfect, and I didn't account for it. I didn't account for the breaks. I didn't account for the frustration that I was going to encounter because I was like, oh, this is going to go in all in. Like, it's going to go in like a breeze. Like, all right, just got to bolt it up. And bullshit, right? I had to customize so much shit. And in the process, I kept fucking getting frustrated. And I was like, yo, because I was so short for time, I didn't take breaks, right? Until it was like, my brother was like, yo, chill, 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 chill. Just walk away, walk away. And then we came back fucking with a refreshed mindset. We came back like, we're focused and ready to finish the job, right? And so know that working smarter is the key. It's not just working smarter. Excuse me, it's not just working harder. You got to be willing to work smarter, right? It's all about creating long-term wins for yourself, right? The big picture, right? Have the big picture in mind, right? The goal isn't just to finish your build. The goal is actually to enjoy the process and improve your skills along the way. Yeah, for sure. I want to go rip my Camaro, and I'm sure you want to go rip your build too, right? Um, but the process, right? And I've learned this while I was building my Silverado, right? Like, enjoy the process because you're going to improve along the way. You're going to gain the knowledge. You're going to fucking grab things that are going to be useful for you in the future, right? And so think about the big picture. Like, like, um, like the best mechanics or the best builders aren't just talented, right? They know when to pause and to rethink their approach, right? And it all happens because of the experience, right? They don't just brute force the solutions. They don't just fucking grab a hammer and start fucking going away crazy. Like they refine their approach based on the experience that they had, based on the process of doing the things that they've done, right? This is how you learn, and this is how you gain the experience, right, in life and need it, whether it's be in motorsports, whether it be in your life, whether it be in your career, whether it be in your fitness, whether it be in relationships, whatever it is. It takes you going through it and then being able to look back and reflect on what went good, what went wrong, what could I have done better in order for you to become actually better, right? That's how you extract the lessons, right? Smart work beats hard work when it's done consistently over time, right? Frustration and burnout kills the consistency, right? So if you're willing to take a break, if you're willing to acknowledge, if you're willing to extract the golden nuggets, the lessons from each situation that you go through, then you're gonna fucking level up, right? Like set up a forced break rule, for example. Like, and I'm gonna actually incorporate this. I'm doing a lot of work on my Camaro. We're gonna get this bitch running, and actually have a lot of fucking things left to do. And I was pondering, I was like, man, I gotta fucking set more time aside to do this. At the pace I'm going, only going once, maybe twice a week, it's gonna take me a long fucking time, right? And so I'm gonna have to prioritize my schedule, restructure my schedule so that I can go, right? Ideally, I'd like to go 3 times a week, right? So, and when I go, I'm gonna force myself to take a break, right? Instead of like trying to just hammer, 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 because I'm so strict on my time, right? And so if you catch yourself forcing a solution, step back. And that's what I'm gonna do, right? Now it's you gotta have the mindset of this is not optional, right? Like build the discipline around this and have that forced break because that is how you're gonna avoid the frustration. That's how you're gonna minimize the frustration because there's a lot of things, especially when you're attacking things that you don't know how to do and you're figuring it out. That's half of my life, right? That's how I continue leveling up because I don't let the fear of not knowing how to do something stop me back, right? I just fucking learn about it. I research about it and I go attack it, right? And that's how you evolve. That's how you grow. That's how you become a better person, right? In all areas of your life, not just in motorsports, right? And so as we wrap up this episode, right, my question for you is, how many mistakes could you have avoided if you had just walked away for a few minutes, right? Think about it. I know it's happened to me plenty of times, right? But when you think about the mistakes that you could have actually avoided, it starts engraving into your subconscious the lessons that you could have, that you're extrapolating out of the events that you had, right? And so my challenge with that follow-up question is this week, right? Anytime that you feel the frustration boiling up, anytime that you feel you're getting to a frustrated point, anytime that you feel the stress is like fucking building up, like whether it's in your build, whether it's at work, whether it's your relationships, whether it's with your fitness, whatever it is, right? Like be self-aware and just step back and go take a 15-minute break, right? Go walk, go do something else. Like what I do recommend is don't grab your phone and take a 15-minute break and then be on social media and be like, oh, because you're really not letting your mind decompress, right? Like someone, like I used to do this. I'd be like working. All right, I'm gonna go take a 15-minute break, and then you're gonna go and you're gonna pick up your phone, and sure enough, bam, back into fucking your brain starts going, and then when you leave that break, you come back to work. You're like, yo, I don't feel recharged because you never took the actual decompression zone. You never went into the decompression zone, right? But if you put your phone aside, you go outside, go for a walk, grab a coffee, grab some water, literally giving your mind space to decompress, then it's gonna fucking work, right? And as you're doing it, document your changes to the approaches that you're implementing, right? And then see what works and what doesn't work, and then you're gonna have some results that you're gonna be able to reference back and say, yo, this is what I'm gonna do from now on. This is what works for me. You know, this doesn't work for me, so I'm not gonna do that. Like we're all different. Things work for different people, but you got to be willing to test. You got to be willing to implement. You got to be willing to analyze what works for you and what doesn't, so that you can become better at doing the shit that you need to do. And so my final thought here as we wrap up this episode is really building a car, building a business, building yourself up, building a badass relationship, building your mindset, building like your fucking physique, right? It's all the same. Like push too hard at the wrong time, and you're gonna break something. You're gonna break things. Things are gonna go wrong, right? Instead, take a step back, reset, and come back fucking stronger. Come back more focused. Come back with more drive. Come back with eagerness, right? To fucking kill that task that you're working on. Let's get to work, my friends. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back, and let's become the badass motherfuckers that we're all meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others level up is the mission that God has tasked us with. By any chance you still haven't subscribed yet, man, what the fuck are you waiting for? Go ahead and smash that button so you never miss another episode. And if you're connected with today's message, man, do me a favor, share this on your story. Make sure that you tag me, because those are the actions that help more gearheads, more motorheads, more car guys, more motorcycle guys, more fucking motorheads to really see and hear about this podcast. And ultimately, that's how our community grows. Catch up with you on the next episode. But till then, live your life wide open, my friend. Peace.